initiatives at least. Like I said, on my be no any troubles. But leadership, the whole essence, they say every day beyond that sorry, or preoccupation, they say all find a solution to problems. Problem be or hang on a critique. But the very moment I watch your tone was a man a leader and there, you don't run away from it. It becomes
a problem to solve.
Every blessed day, your job is to solve problems of others. And I will always find a way out among for assisting them. So if we get to a point now, and the priority of people who have entrusted political power and the whole estate into their hands. No, they are rather pursuing what I call perverted priorities. Priorities are, and yet they hear no mumu yet, but I dear Bama or more coma. Let your more penal or more and this one who know more personally, never born. That is what they are pursuing. Then the child say, or minor a sinity, I say.
Okotre Corinne Mukwa, Abua Ponchenidi and Coty whom free say your man penya Corinne Quakutri, and says as soon as I taxpayers' money and Kitsim say. Yeah, started with the building of the National Cathedral and the Hura balloons around it. Yeah. Now, the first one I buy was 25 million Ghana cedis. Yes. You release here without the consent of Parliament, without audit passing through auditing through the Auditor General Department and all that. First 25 million Ghana cedis. You had about a seed money. Yeah. In building the National Cathedral. Yes. The second was 32 million Ghana cedis. Yes. Say David Ajayi and Associate, or more from MP Consultancy Services. Nina also has to do with building of the National Cathedral. Now, what is in? And it's 142 million Ghana cedis. Asanso you see that you releasing or one penny releasing 2020 October. You get okay way sky in Abuma. National Cathedral now man penny catch and say and your taxpayers' money. And all the babesi do not one declare the source of the fund. You know. Now almost 200 million Ghana cedis. And as you see, what is your take?
I think, sir, it's quite unfortunate. You see, Makase say Obi das or no say Osi Cathedral. May I meet her no problem because as a Christian, I'm a Christian. Obi say Osi Cathedral. Why not? Baby Obi see me yakosum ya media and Kenya me problem. But at a point, on my be decided say you person you see Cathedral no. Especially in a democratic dispensation, it happened to be a secular state like this particular country. No, that must be an opinion of majority of the people in the country have agreed that at a particular point in time, you value all our priorities, and at this material time, no cathedral and a priority. And it's a yen united secure question. I see yesia, many problem. And it's a besia, and many problem. But I get to a point where a minor economic veil, desperation, and kasa. I dear friend who here attitude of mine. I dear friend a car, men of mine, and I never make any any pokuyo musi so basically to the Oman of my yo. Chrono chichi dear ya bomb my own my sick and yina China Ghana for at this point. Ya kasa ye caught the capital market crack of Bobo Singer, or who say Dini GHANA Ghana Penum said no, for more or be a camera more dear, more by Bobo Singer. And I'm saying government call capital market and a sikakura yenye binintino. We are being forced to tax the ordinary people. Now I hear mono say the E11 for all in a bit to raise fund. I had a better children minor. A child says sikasem a one patche. Nina chino bossy and send we a triswa yetia every year biano debt servicing sikaya bossana yajano and sihuna ya the air servicing on choir over 50 billion Ghana cedis per year. 50 billion no and the 50 billion in Bosana Yabon Yanfan Kutiao and Sihuna every year you 50 billion Ghana cedis, which is almost half of entire revenue the whole country no you generated in a year. And that is the situation you're finding you. And the president say or no as an individual. As a Yankopon boss or basic cathedral man, a cathedral now also no a personal your friends a promise and one make he's not going to use the public resources and for the baby or no one casa bena so for and what's in time so for chocho no do or more dear anymore and they are doing all these things. Then your bedroom stage ya some no one penny a software now more can say your mind sika and the other yes I dear no and no me sumasi one I don't know most in the cathedral or Yankopon sorry dying. Omona mesuma se de omonsa kobo oman sikam Ghana has its open physical from the consolidated fund. Won't mean for it doesn't matter who you are. A bra parliament anywhere. You need an explicit approval of parliament and sana udon sa for my musica. But enam say Kufuado, Omunipa non for Nipanya She, not the catcher say he's not a Democrat, but rather he's an imposter who is fronting a democratic rule in Tino. On one kasa issue executive order for Mainsika 142 million a seed money. Sikana nyana maame de ona nyana papa de e na nyana yere de e na onkodi pa na okonya ye me no ye sika e na ono an kasa ade ne nsa akobọ sa sika no watama ma sa asofo ye amotwa no ho hia they know very well that particular money is a stolen money ono mo de kokko shame eno achi ansi ho a wase akofa another 32 million e de akoma sa J and associate, and you know the relationship between him or the president as to when a European tender, the buying and competitive tender, because competitive tendering is the default position of our procurement law.
Sure.
It means there's a person who they are there more catch a company to now offer more bid.
Sure.
After reviewing, you know,
there you go for
so
the best.
we use sole sourcing. There must be a definitive reason. And say what me say none obi anim ho hwe there and say ye tue say sika 32 ya koma obi. Then another company, friend, is a rebate company, so no, another 25 million, and their time at their come. And they said, at the blind side of Ghanaians, I is a president at the Nisika Cathedral, not knowing, say, on my Sika over 200 million, and as I'm ready, tam, and they said, the Kwakusi Cathedral, I Ghana for Yahweh.
Yan linking to common sense, some minute, Ivan. Ivan, now you're too susu, Minumi too susu.
Yeah.
Now be my promise, Peter. Say, ebia next 2 years, me man is sikabi. Na me no susu no, me more wa man ya to susu na eduru baby a na matam Peter buy na because of say my promise Peter nti. Na matam me no susu no wa bra woni awe me more wa man na me dia ma Peter. Will you say there is something wrong with my mindset?
No, muni pa mfa ni pa nya hwe, and that is Akufo-Addo in the ohuna sana. That is the kind of person I am. Because I address a ban way was respect for the people of this particular country, in as much as the people don't agree with you, no, at least just involve them. Mahu members of parliament, Mahu Okujato on several platforms, and several other members of parliament complaining, said the government did not come for parliamentary approval. So if MPs are even complaining, how much more other people? It means that parliament as an institution, one of the big arms upon which the whole democratic framework, is parliament, without recourse to parliament, and you see, the funny aspect of this whole thing is that if you look at where the world has evolved to, where we are and where we are going at, cathedral in a national affair, what sense does it make? And then you have some cheap minds out there who justify, say, oh, Oko France are more cathedral, Oko UK more cathedral. You see, people are so ignorant to the stance. I mean, Oko France cathedral is where Notre Dame now recently, it was built somewhere around 1143, no more here. The old days. Somewhere no mood, before the French Revolution, now Omomudi France, so either the Roman Catholics, either your friends said the aristocrat, the elite. And the more the first estate, the second estate, and then you have the commoners. Commoners in the any palm and form. And the first economic bar, Sikani back on to a bar, ne vote back on the day here for 5 vote ye pet, which means the commoners don't form on your share. So when the Roman Catholic were ruling France that time, they had that luxury to build church because a minor is being ruled by a church, and they can do anything. Oko Italy, it happened at some point in time. It happened. Oko France, Oko Spain, and then Oko Nyasa, this Sagrada Familia ne on, some big your friend is saying cathedral nesi hono. Ninjana because the country at that time was under monarchical rule, and this yes I him for now for the Roman Catholic rule and as a form. And at that particular time, no, they had that luxury. And this all had dynasty were not design architecture and more but what you are maintaining there. At this point, what they are doing is that Notre Dame quite recent dance and now tourist your friends say place a man for call. So ubuki every year biana nyahwe nipa 12 million in a rather particular place only either 73 or 50 euros. So you can imagine the amount of money.
Sure.
Oko your friend is saying Spain is the same thing. Cathedral is one a tourist way. Even movie producers and so forth, they go and pay and they shoot a lot of movies there. It is why most of the American movies are or more year movie in that particular your friend is a cathedral now Spain. No? You can go and search about a lot of movies have been shot at that particular place because a tourist way are more the edge for revenue. What I say. So I didn't see that cover by. But this modern time no, so what is obese so down. Now either a church. And I say yes, a church in
a church.
But at this point, say oh my
it's in a money machine.
People are investing in technology, people are investing in schools. People are investing in your friend said businesses and say you know. Now the whole preoccupation of this particular myopic government and say yes, you see cathedral and yakobom paye amanyankopon ababaye den. Upon my back, I think Ghana can. We worship God in our individual ways, and there are churches all over. I tell me a Catholic. Every inch we have move across Accra, there is a Catholic church there. A minimum sorrow, but I know say, baby, I saw is all over. Even one man church, and I say, even Obinim or Buffon on Banana, the individual branches. Look at churches or multiple put it do Sunday crowd the time. Sunday school, the exactly. So we have churches are one person like a Buffo Binim or non qua etimi SCC. I didn't think as a president so see cathedral or you say. Oh man, Yankopa own to me see President a question about. Yes. Now only in as well now. That is a problem. That is the problem. So this whole justification in as for you know doesn't make sense. That is what I'm saying. Say Ghana for no, we are being held at a gunpoint to finance the delusions of Akufo-Addo. He is having his delusions. Say okay, oni Nyankopon ahye, but who gives a damn about wo ba oni Nyankopon ahye? When I know gyina ho. Say what say ba, go and pay. But so we for Ghana for sika just to go and finance your personal delusions. Say oni Nyankopon ahye bon na say for. I think that is quite unfortunate. It's unfortunate say nipa no mo twa no ho ahye. You see, one person that I have respect for so much is your friend say Papa no di Pentecost church adim no. Well enlightened person in for no man following a church, you know, is one of the fastest growing church in this particular country. Or individuals or masters of more this sans who knowing very well says Sikana Nipano de Mama Moody Sisadiano, your mind sika or mine and Yahweh. So if you're a person of conscience, do still have to follow all these things. But because you're the Yankopona Katayanim, and I yafunu and I yasum Nintino, and I yadina Yabani Abegina, and I Yamwana Yan Senior Mia Soradine, who is against the building of Yamia Soradine? Individual churches, people do contribution. I contribution collection and as if for them sometimes yearly basis you buy for there say you senior and coupon sorry time. But the problem is that Ghana is a secular state at this time, no. Or mine and say Christopher need this or another way need so. But you can say you're quite a particular liar. I'm one of the person who spoke against say you sponsor Muslims or Munko your friend saying Mecca. Because the free says answer me in some so because on mine cannot be financing some of these things because when you do that a time will come. What is that, Christopher? So we are already. They are all citizens. Exactly, citizens. Muslims will come, and then other people will also come, and there will be financing programs. But if you already say call programs, you should have your money. Sure. So you know, who said most of the problems they have facing the ordinary people, housing deficit, unemployment challenges in Asafori, you solve here. I don't know. Now, what time we didn't come back and not banner the video in home. But because of cheap politics, you know, we take state money and we finance all these so that is what we do. And the SCAC Cathedral, or China, not a Muslims also more per national mosque, then state sponsored or state financed mosque. You can't deny them. Baby. Then another group will come, they will also tell you, so, okay, Yansu here national shrine. Some bosom. Mine is a secular state will be entitled to worship whatever that they want. That is what I'm saying, sir. You don't push us into that particular arena. So president say Osi Cathedral. So for now, they can solicit fund. And I say, oh, there are a lot of ways they can do. I am fire and sank about my sikkim. But we started by saying, say, baby are judges, judges than you see less than 5 years old. Judges than you see in an expensive area in Accra. like cantonment, or you can imagine say the Dimbo City and president without approval from anybody out of his own whatever. Just started say he started pulling down judges. Obu dino to ogu, and your mind sikasia ko high hotel there. Diamond so Montinam no Babisi Cathedral. Come on.
Hotel individual be nansem when we say a sober bank for such or didn't see case.
Yes, you book a bind there to go bind and you CEO. A bind that or cobu to go behind them or say a Babisi Cathedral. You see, people who are ruling us are behaving like children, and that is the problem. They are not thinking right, and sometimes. And then I walk come and for say na manti abawe muade na say for, but when you see say mpanimfo who are supposed to be reasonable person, mpanimfo mo na mo see and also mo ko school akese na say for no, when they are behaving like children, they are not rational, they are not thinking straight. Sometimes you have to be worried, you understand? And ya this school na chichiri ya hono na say oko US na kofa Harvard na we egu ewura owie wo anum na wunim nyansa what I say. Common sense is enough incentive for us to realize this whole thing that Kufuor and his people are driving us into absurdity. And crucial things that affect the ordinary Ghanaian. Market woman and Neman Koye and Manti Omunye Jumanye. Youth unemployment at the and the university who free about timber. Even your suku nuclear design no cry a problem. And right now who say university I say I'm for I draw kambu or show pass that is the psyche. Now obey koyasa near my winning money do what you call from grandpa so. What I say, Nepal free school, but now I can be anything. And some these are structural deficits that you expect at least as a minor, you making some conscious efforts, you fix it from a place. And then countries are investing massively in technology. If you go to China, they are the leading country in artificial intelligence. And at the early stage, they are teaching them how to, your friends say, coding, and then I say for them. Sure. And at 5 years, in 6 years, you teach them how to do coding because it's the basics. Go into technology at whatever level. That is what this guy started in South Africa and Sana or move to Canada, then back to US. Elon Musk, and that what they are able to do because oh yeah, crack no video game not $500 and then money motivation on the tour. So I started with coding, and then I say for them. What are we teaching our children here? No motivation. What are we teaching them? Are they expecting say a tone no person or bad? Into we are crying we also radio that are the way person no bad and this what we are now to me no ba ya ba we say no ba better and some hunu sorry from radio morning evening person no bad that job just when people are learning computer and then I say for thinking about the next 50 years next 20 years how everything position the world na be so competitive because even the world superpowers there is a competition among them. Russia, China and then America are investing massively in Myanmar a lot of things or more but look at us, we are not ready to lift a finger to do a thing. School of Technology, or Kwame University, you do like to Kuma, so more like to bedum. In as much as they are doing technology, and as for common 1 kilowatt of wave crying, your friends saying, they've not been able to create a say, yeah, the power university, and say, a co offer, the AI in the what is wrong with us? And these things should be our priority as a president. When you know, it is a Zoom school, you should be focusing on fixing and addressing all these things. Now you do, but not say economically, you see that the ordinary Ghanaian is empowered. A branch in your Juma and then may koye na sa usi cathedral. Nipa kraba baje also. But this time, o mine a camera, I mean, case a capremini, a camera, just I did be say. A month for no movia. Suku samaya basa and crank it where ne yet kum hasino and crom school feeding. Yes, a crabia in a day, ye feedino 90 pesos. Now, mine ya damn the old team, 90 pesos are cried in it. I cry, yeah, money 90 pesos, say the whole day, and but you bring over 200 million. Say the quack you have the Kosi Cathedral. At this time, Cathedral, we are a damn fason, young Baba solve your problem. Makacha said, we are not ready to think. A young man for religion. Me say religion I on. Religion. Because if you go to the United States of America, they are very religious. America has a national prayer day. Oko White House, they have a family. Their job is to pray for America. That is all that they do. Under the White House, they have people who are praying for America. quite recently Trump won and started prayers and praises and worship. The one bomb pie or White House early morning worship and way or more. Your friends say Bible reading, your friends say hour and so forth. He was doing a lot. It's just they are very religious. But you see, being religious, you keep it at your heart. Sure. Because it is what makes you who you are. Because so when I'm then you are empty, you are hollow, you are broken. So at least you must believe in something. What I say. So they all believe in something, but they also realize that Nyankopa will not come and provide say 5G. Nyankopa may 5G mount. 4 Nyankopa mount. Until all the way my but ya can say a baby so ya nyansa. And then Yamebe or my bed and Yamia Patricia that one will be that. Even countries are more powerful like India and as for almost name Pian as for no. Go and see Umbo be companies Magana for Eco Pebby. There be a palace more once. They are from India, name Pian or Muslim. They don't believe it, they don't worship God. What I say. But what are we doing this to us? Me say, young first man to China young who say problems now are sandwich are confronted with no. Until so we as a people make conscious effort and adopt some of the ways about either technology, either industrial, either this, we cannot move forward because in Europe, development now, because I know who's a Western Europe developer now. At the beginning of 1800, quite recently, Obi a survey or quantify before 1800, countries are now economically successful. He ended so China in 1800 no was the most successful country in terms of GDP. But I didn't see yeah. I did not 10 a year no. A 10 a year never see Europe because Europe decided that they are going the industrial way. Then when the industrial revolution started, that was when enlightenment took over because they were very religious. Uko UK for instance, a Hemana lie now free ban a Christian lie. Obi by any friend Bloody Mary. Okundi pasa because in a bit to ensure say power. Maintaining that particular power. So UK and for they have gone through those transitions for a long time. Sure. Even Bible you cry King James version and for the king of England, King James. On na sample among for say because of differences in among for no or put two people together. Now you harmonize it or be differences. Yare and console say your Bible the bar or be and they started and they put the Bible together. Say the so won't mean so many more than them. When they are the people who translated this particular thing, what I say, they worship God. And we can worship God at our individual level, but because we are weak, because we are uninformed, because we are unintelligent, and because we are weak and we are afraid to face reality, always we interface everything with God because there is no explanation. But I just say issues of wisdom, issues of reasoning can never be eliminated using faith. Okay, we have to be reasonable. Okay, Alban, let's come to encophobia or no and I say when you